The main difference between independent and mainstream films is the budget. Independent films have a much lower budget than mainstream, which deciphers on the other factors and conventions of an independent film. For example, mainstream films are more known to have a grand special effects due to the fact that they can afford it. Independent films does not have this luxury and often has to use natural lighting. Independent films also usually have unknown actors, whilst mainstream have A-list stars in order to advertise their films further, as often audiences will decide whether or not to see a film and what actors are in it. Mainstream films also advertise through TV, DVDs, billboards, and social network, whilst independent films often have to rely on word of mouth to advertise their film. Also, independent films will often enter into film festivals and hopefully win in order to get their film recognised. My companies are British and independent due to their lack of funding and also the choice of films they produce. For example, it is often conventional for independent films to produce more art-type films, such as Beasts of the Southern Wild and Amelie, whilst mainstream films aim to produce a film that will appeal to a wide audience. My distribution company is Wide Eyed Films. A distribution company's aim is to market the film and raise awareness of its release. As my film is an independent one, it is unlikely that I would have a big marketing campaign due to the low budget, so therefore the main source of advertisement would be word of mouth. Similar distribution companies to mine would be Artificial Eye, Optimum Releasing, and Revolver Entertainment, all of which have distributed UK social realism films. Artificial Eye distributed Fish Tank, Optimum Releasing distributed Tyrannosaur, and Revolver Entertainment distributed Kidulthood. I decided to present my distribution companies using a simple effect which I got from the program LiveType, due to the fact that I did not want to take away the focus from my production company. I got inspiration from the simplicity from such companies as Film 4 and Working Title. Even though they are production companies and not distributors, I like the simple effect which becomes iconic and memorable among the audiences. My production company is Imagination Pictures. The aim for a production company is to provide the necessity of the film, such as provide the budget, actors, and crew. As my film is independent, I have a relatively low budget and can only afford undiscovered actors, unlike a mainstream company, which would be able to afford A-list actors that could also advertise the film. A similar production company to mine would be BBC Films, which has produced such films as Fish Tank, Bullet Boy, and Billy Elliot, which are all British social realism films. Another example is Warp Films, which has produced Tyrannosaur and This Is England. I got inspiration from DreamWorks production card for the way in which I have presented my production card, as I wanted it to appear family friendly, to enforce a wider audience for my company. I have done this by using bright colours and having joyful music on top to introduce the title.